So please, if you haven't done so, grab a cup of coffee, enjoy breakfast, have a seat as we are getting ready to start. Okay. Okay, perfect. Thanks. So, welcome everybody to the second workshop in the framework of the Southwestern US Ground Motion Characterization, also known as SWOS, GMC, Shack Level 3 study. The project originated in the summer 2012 when three utilities, APS, PG&E, and Edison, joined together to respond to the request of information put forth by the US Nuclear Regulatory Commission and NRC on March 12, 2012, addressing the near-term task force evaluation after the Fukushima Daiichi accident. As of the beginning of October, Edison is no longer part of this study, so we are going to be focusing on providing a ground motion model that can be used to assess seismic hazard for the two remaining sites in our projects, which are Diablo Canyon Power Plant and Palo Verde Nuclear Generating Station. In March, we conducted the first workshop. The proceedings are available online. So here you can see the link to our project-dedicated website, which is kindly hosted by the PG&E website. You see here, you have the link to both the PG&E seismic source characterization and the Southern Western ground motion characterization. If you click, you will find workshops. Workshop 1 presentations are available, and also the proceedings are easily retrievable. So let's review the purpose of this workshop, which is called Proponent Model and Alternative Interpretations. The goals of the workshop today are to review ground rules for the conduct of the SHOCK workshops, and also to review the roles of each expert that is participating today. We are also going to review the evaluations that has been performed by our Ground Motion Characterization Technical Integration TI team, and as a part, again, of the data that has been collected and evaluated after workshop number 1, and the effort which is currently ongoing and will be scheduled until the end of the project. So, again, the specific goals are also to present, discuss, and debate alternative models, methods, and viewpoints regarding key technical issues that have significant impact on the hazard estimate. Also, we are going to identify the technical basis for the alternatives and discuss their associated uncertainties. We are also going to provide a basis for the subsequent development of the preliminary ground motion model that consider these alternatives. And finally, we will be discussing interface consideration between the ongoing seismic source characterization and ground motion characterization models, including the data pertaining to both efforts. So, the approach to accomplish our goal will be fulfilled by the series of presentation and discussions that will provide the technical integration team with information pertaining qualities of alternative models and methods, and also their associated uncertainty. And also, as I mentioned before, we are going to discuss updates on data collection that will be supporting the execution of the SHOCK project. The resource experts and proponent experts will be providing us the presentations, and they have been requested to provide a list of references that have been used or cited during their presentations as the last slide of their presentation. Again, that will be for posterior documentation. Now, the workshop is being recorded, and the presentations, the PowerPoint and the video will be posted and will be made publicly available. So speakers have been provided with specific guidance to ensure that their presentations are commensurate to the execution and to the goals of this workshop. So in their presentations, the speakers will be focusing on presenting the strength and limitations of their methods or models that they advocate. So we requested them to express their degree of confidence, where do they have the most faith in their models, but also to clearly express the limitations that their model might have. What we really are looking after is to have a full understanding of the technical basis for the applicability of the methods and viewpoints. The discussions, we are going to have plenty of time for discussions through the workshop, and they will address the merits of specific methods, models, and perspective. We have great scientists today with us, so it's very important that we are reminded that the discussion should address topics that have high impact on the hazard. So the speakers should address the implication of their models to the hazard inputs and not only focus on the scientific viability of their methods and viewpoints. So as I mentioned, we're going to have plenty of time for discussions. The TI team will moderate the speakers, the TI team support. All the listed resource experts and proponent experts will have a chance to participate, not only in the sessions that are pertinent to their own expertise, but they will have a chance to provide their feedback throughout the workshop execution. Now, the others will be considered as observers. We are aware that there might be some participant who has not been identified already as a proponent or resource expert, but if somebody here feels that has a particular expertise on some topic and has been not listed as a proponent or resource expert, please come see me or Norm for a proper accounting on that. So at the end of each day, observers will have the chance to make comments and raise questions. At this point, the observers are the PPRP and the representative of the sponsors. Public Q&A session will be scheduled after the technical sessions end, and I will be getting back on the agenda and notify when and where that is going to happen. So this is an overview of the agenda. We are on day one. After this presentation, I'm going to provide a short review of the SHAC process. And then after me, Norm Abramson, our TI team lead, will provide an overview of the project and also discuss where we stand after workshop one and what is the status of the ground motion tasks that has been identified at workshop one. Then we're going to have a section on the sensitivity analysis. Our hazard analyst, Nick Gregor, and Melanie Wallings will present the sensitivity analysis, but we're also going to have a wider discussion. Then after lunch, we are going to address the candidate methods for simulating earthquakes and ground motion using the finite fault approach. So we are going to review the results of the validation and evaluation, but also going to present initial forward simulation results. And then before moving into the summary of day one, we're going to have a short tutorial delivered by Nico Cohen on the epistemic uncertainty. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to have a short time frame for the comments. And then the PPRP will caucus on a separate location. And then we'll have a closed meeting with the PPRP, sponsors, TI team, and lead and project management. In the meantime, there is going to be a public Q&A session on the science topic for the Diablo Canyon. This is a session hosted by PG&E and is going to take place in the foyer, which is a room right behind us and is accessible from that lateral door. Okay. Day two, we're going to start early at 8 o'clock, so plan on being here on time. We're going to have breakfast and refreshment ready, and we are going to dive into the applicability of ground motion models for the two sites, and this is going to be until lunch. Then we're going to have a discussion on kappa, its preliminary estimates, and the issues that we are facing with deriving kappa and handling the data. And then we're going to discuss the path effects that can be used to constrain adjustments to the candidate GMPs. And then we're going to have again, as customary, the summary of the day, the observer comments, the PPRP caucus, and then again the public Q&A session. On day 3, we're going to start reviewing the candidate models for Sigma, and then we're going to review candidate models for adjustment of GMPs for accounting several factors. So the first factor will be for those ruptures that change rake and dip along strike. Then we're going to account the effect and the impact of directivity. And then we're going to address the splay faulting and branch faulting. And then we're going to have a presentation on the constraint that can be applied to our seismic hazard estimate using fragile geologic features. And we're going to have the summary of day 3, and then the overview of day 1 and 2, and then as customary, the observer comments, a short closure note, the PPRP caucus, and then the Q&A session. Okay, so if there is no question, I would move forward with our next presentation.